of us is dealing with some sort. Now, to be fair, Brad has a much higher hit rate than both Eric and I combined, and I probably am at the bottom. Like if we had records as far as just showing up with zero issue, right? You know those signs they have at Mr. Brad Thomas on Twitter, at shanderbets for me, at Eric Linquist. We'll give him a shout, even though he's working through his technical difficulties of his own. GoldBoys.com. Hit the thumbs up button. Straight's producing. But you know those signs they have at like the regular workhouse or warehouse, pardon me, or place of business where there's activity going on X amount of days since the last accident, right? Like you probably have a pretty good streak days without the last technical difficulty. I probably have like zero up there every other day. And Eric's good for about one a week. I think maybe a 0.85 a week. How you doing, brother?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. I had a great weekend of watching college football. We literally got an Airbnb, and just little staycation. And we didn't leave the Airbnb. We watched college football every day and then
Is
finish it
that
off with
right?
some Sunday football.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, take me through. I don't need like the intimate details, but take me through how something like this. Is it you and your wife? Did you get away from the
No,
child? Like, is it
no,
you and a
no,
couple
no.
of boys? Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
is going on in this staycation here?
yeah. One of my best friends used to do a podcast, still do a podcast with him. We're not doing it as frequently. He moved away, so he comes in towns for like big games or whatever. And
Got it.
me,
Okay.
him, and the homies, we get an Airbnb. It's sick.
That's incredible, man. Good for you. Good for you. Well, Nickel State, we got that one at least. Bo Melton was not. Clearly, the Packers line's under for me. I don't even want to look at this thing. All right, let's burn through it. You and I again. If you're watching on GoldBoys.com, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and you're subscribed here and following along at Odd Shopper, of course, on Twitter. So we've got Monday Night Football. We've got one NBA game. We've got a couple of college games if you're into that. And it's not maybe some hockey. I'm sure, though, I am sure that if somebody is playing competitive soccer and there's a line on that game somewhere on the planet, you've already sniffed it out. Where would you like to begin? I'm pretty much heavy on the NFL game tonight, but I'm just curious where
We
you
we
are.
can start in the NFL. I
You can start wherever you want. I just meant like for me. No
No, no, I
surprises for
there
straight.
I am sweating a soccer game. You can get in it now. It's West Ham first half corner handicap. Game just started, still playable. But anyways, my first bet is in the NFL game. I went with Jake Ferguson, over 36 and a half receiving yards. So
Yeah.
The Titans, the Bengals allow the fourth most receiving yards to tight ends. Cooper Rush has been Mr. Tight end heavy every game he's been a starter. He's been going to the tight end, and Shoemaker is gonna get a lot of targets, but Jake Ferguson is going to be the starter in this game. And it's not like he was dealing with like a leg injury. He was concussed. Full participant in practice Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The number's just too low for the amount of targets he's probably gonna get in a negative script against a really bad defense.
Yeah, I love it, man. Taking advantage of that. We've already seen even when he was out, right? Like Schoonmaker, like we've seen
Yeah.
they don't stay away from that position. So I think there's some value to that alone. And it kind of to to take by all means, but oh man, did I go out? Oh,
You're
okay.
breaking it up.
Sorry. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me fix that. There's a reason why that happened. Sorry. Should be fine now, or at least better. Lagging in here. So what I was saying as far as this game is concerned and these two teams, Brad, is one team hasn't dealt with a swap of a quarterback. One team hasn't dealt with a bunch of key, at least as many, right? Like, or
Yeah.
as key, maybe, of an injury. Bengals have been trying all year, and this is what their product is, right?
Mhm.
Like, this is who they are. Meanwhile, I think the Cowboys, it's no, it would be a massive indictment of this team if Trey Lance were starting.
Yes.
That would basically mean tank mode for me for Dallas, and I think anybody else watching this, where it's like they're not interested. Cooper Rush gives them a chance to win this football game. I'm taking the 5.5 points as my play here for Dallas. I think Micah Parsons on defense when he's healthy provides an element that we haven't seen much of, but when he's been there, this has been a really good team, defensive EPA at least, with him healthy on the field. And I think this team is just they're underrated this tonight because it's the Bengals name, because it's Cooper, and I don't think they're putting enough stock in what happens when you have a healthy guy. So, damn it.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just fill in some color here. I actually wrote this one up on NBC, and part of me, not part of me, but part of anybody wants to say, this Bengals team is incredible. I want to just take the 5, but they're putting up some historically bad defensive numbers, right? Let's put it this way: right now, Joe Burrow leads the NFL in touchdown passes at 30. It'll be the second time in NFL history that a quarterback leads the NFL in touchdown passes and misses the playoffs. Um, you know, this is funny. This is last week was their fourth loss of the season when scoring 30 plus or more. Um, that was an NFL record. First team in NFL
Wow.
history to lose 4 games in a season while scoring 33 or more. Cincinnati also became, I think it was the first team, the first team to lose an away game while scoring 40 or more points. Just stuff like that piles up. It's just hard to 5 points
That's
is a ton.
insane. It is. It is. These are numbers you would see from like the New York Giants,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what I would. Brian Daboll's team this year is so shitty, and then fill in all of those numbers,
Yep.
right? Like except for of course the quarterback leading the NFL in touchdowns. That's never going to happen with anybody on that team throwing the football. Man, something serious right there. All right, I'm gonna spot. I'm gonna move to a better spot here
Okay, I'll go with
so
my
we can
second
get through
play.
these plays.
I'll go with my
Yes, there
second
you go.
play while you, get your situation adjusted. So, I'm going to the Champions
Relocate.
League.
Relocate.
Game is
Yes.
tomorrow, and it's Juventus versus Manchester City. The line's actually -104. I think I put the wrong price down, but Manchester City to win against Juventus -104. Juventus don't really
Okay.
concede a ton of goals, but offensively, they haven't been great. All of the matches they've played against what we consider like the giants or the big boys of Europe, even domestically, they've all just been these nil-nil matches, right? And I just think that City's too clinical. If Juventus can't score a goal, that they're going to get something. They're going to score, and it's going to be up to Juventus to kind of score it there. Diego Mata, he inherited this team totally different. They play totally different than Allegri, who was the manager before. So it's going to be a growing pain in this first year because he's trying to get his caliber guys to play his system, and it's not quite there yet. Getting Manchester City, even though they're in kind of a little bit of a struggle themselves at -104 against a team that's probably not going to score, is just a really good price.
What was that number, real quick again?
-104.
-104. Okay. Okay. Hey, I'll take your word for it. Again, what time does this game start? By the way.
Tomorrow at I think it's the 3:30 game
Okay,
PM.
so you're getting ahead of this one. So that's
Yeah, I'm
definitely
getting
going to
ahead of,
move.
I imagine this one will close around -125. If anybody took that West Ham bet that I gave out right before I started, they just got their first corner of the game, so now they're up 1-0. Can't hear you. What? What? No, they got a
That was
corner.
given up.
I
No,
gave
I'm
that out
saying you
right.
gave that.
Yeah, right when they started. Right when we started.
Okay.
So they're up 1-0.
Okay.
Let's
Cool.
get 2 here and then make it 2-0. That'd be fantastic.
All right. Let's keep this thing moving. So
Yep.
before me or Eric's not coming in to save the day, so we'll keep this thing moving here. No surprises. I'm going to stay on the same theme. I'm going to push this as an alt play. At least it was a juicy number when we got it yesterday. Let's go Cooper Rush, 250 plus passing yards alt. This Bengals secondary is beyond pickable. The Cowboys, even if in a positive game script, I think you're going to see them throw the football to take advantage of this secondary. Negative, neutral, they're going to be throwing. So give me the fact that Cooper Rush is going to have Brandon Cooks back. Like you've got weapons. We talked about Jake Ferguson now. He's going to get to, I think, 250 plus at plus money. So that would be my alt play, would be Cooper Rush, 250 plus passing yards.
I like it. I was going to take his over 230. I went with Ferguson as the better of the two. I just think, like you said, this team, like I think they're third worst in EPA per play against the pass,
Yeah,
second in
brutal.
success rate, which measures explosiveness, not entirely explosiveness, but at least getting the minimum yards you need to move the chains, or at least put yourself into a short a short down to go, which is never a good thing. It's great if you're betting the quarterbacks passing yards on the other side of the football, though.
All right. What do you got now, man?
Yeah, guys, listen, it's been the worst college football season I've ever had. And sometimes I would admit that during the regular season, we've seen these teams, they do the bare minimum to try to win. But one thing has always shown through this season, it's coaching. Dabo Sweeney went and played against SMU. They were clearly overmatched. There's no one will tell you any otherwise. They won the game. They won that game against SMU where they weren't the better team. Now they're playing against Texas, where I think Dabo Sweeney has a coaching advantage over Steve Sarkisian. I also think, and this is before we get into the numbers, I also think that Quinn Ewers is not a good quarterback. I think at some point you have to make that change. I think
Yep.
Clemson keeps this one close, whether they win it by a touchdown, whether Texas wins by a touchdown or less. I still think we're good to go.
Nice.
I want to talk about just some numbers that kind of stick out for Clemson that we don't talk about often. Defensive success rate, they're 25th to the drop back. They're going against a team who is 43rd to the drop back in the pass. That's how bad it is. They're going to run the ball with Wisner a ton is Clemson. Is Texas. And when you have that philosophy where your quarterback can't throw the ball a ton and you're relying on running the ball a bunch, it's hard to blow teams out. I think this Clemson team does enough offensively it's low scoring already, but to keep it close enough to where I'm not going to be sweating out my plus 11 for Clemson.
Sorry, I heard you.
Are you good?
You
I
got
got
me?
you, baby.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought you were, my fault, man. That's my fault. I was listening and listening. The 11 is there. I love it. And I definitely think you're right about Quinn Ewers, too. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah, it
where this
was spread
conversation.
minus 0.5.
Yep. All right. Let's end on this. You want a lotto. You want something to look forward to. How
Yes,
about the burner on Dallas Turpin? You into that? You into that right now? Plus 700 for an anytime
I'm into
TD.
that.
This man's got some speed. Let's keep this thing moving. All right. 7-1 quarter unit at Mr. Brad Thomas at shanderbets straight. Let's end with a message for BetMGM and we'll keep this thing moving. We'll see you guys on Thursday.
The GoldBoys are one of the largest, most well-known sports betting discords around the world. We'll show you how easy it is to get a free month at goldboys.com and sign up at BetMGM just for using code GoldBoys. Sign up at BetMGM, use code GoldBoys, deposit at least $10 and get your first bet back up to $1,500. Once you play through, you'll get an email from BetMGM with your code to use for that free month at goldboys.com. Some exclusions may apply. 21 or older, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, sign up at BetMGM using code GoldBoys, deposit at least $10. Your first bet's back up to $50.